This is an Oxworks KAM lightsaber hilt, and KAM or KAM, however you want to pronounce that. It's short for Ki-Adi-Mundi, so this is a custom Ki-Adi-Mundi style lightsaber hilt. And it's a clan saber design, meaning that it's sort of a design of a lightsaber hilt that's used by background characters, or sort of, smaller characters from the prequel trilogy and the Clone Wars era, that type of thing. And some of these designs you'll see repeated, or certain pieces of the designs are repeated with several characters. But this is made by Oxworks, so if you haven't heard of that company before, they're based in Finland, and they're a little bit of a smaller custom saber company, and they'll do limited runs of hilts, kind of like this one, and sometimes they'll also do very small batches. Sometimes they've made some one-offs and just smaller batches of just a couple of the hilts. So that's a little bit of a summary of that company. Now, if we take a closer look at this hilt, so we've got that Ki-Adi-Mundi style design, sort of a flared emitter at the top with some grooves. It's almost kind of like a little bit like the Kit Fisto style hilt here, with some of these ledges. Now moving down, there's a couple of these O-rings on the hilt, so that adds sort of a splash of color, or a splash of black against the kind of metallic finish there. Then there's another series of grooves below that. And then we get to kind of the interesting part of the hilt. So there's this piece here, and this can actually be wired. So there's a few different pieces that this hilt comes with, so that you can, let me put those on camera. So they kind of, favor an install. Now there is some writing on the side. I think you could maybe remove that. There's a bezel here, and then kind of this gold colored greebly. Lots of little greeblies and such on this hilt design. A couple of different grooves, some milled detailing, which you'll see some of that on some of the prequel trilogy style hilts in particular. And then there's kind of a larger thumb screw at the bottom with a knurled edge. And of course we got a cover tech wheel, which is always handy so you can wear the hilt. And then a pommel with some sound venting. And the aesthetic of the pommel somewhat balances out the aesthetics of the emitter area, which, you'll see that from time to time. And this does accept a 1-inch diameter blade, so that's pretty standard. Now, one of the nice things about this hilt is it does break apart into lots of pieces, or several pieces. So that makes it easier to install. You can see that threading there. So we got the emitter piece, kind of the upper part of the hilt, maybe upper body, lower body and switch section. You can kind of see the inside there. And then the vented pommel. So it comes with several of the different parts you'd use to install the saber. Let me just back that up. Now let's just put it back together. So this is just kind of a nice Ki-Adi-Mundi style hilt. You don't always see that character. You don't see that many companies make that character hilt. I mean, it comes up from time to time. But it gives you that kind of classic prequel trilogy, Clone Wars era lightsaber hilt design, because you did have additional characters use a very similar hilt design. So very cool. This has been a look at the Oxworks KAM lightsaber hilt. It's a custom Ki-Adi-Mundi style lightsaber. So I'm going to move those out of the way for a second. And that's it for now. Feel free to comment below.